and share my screen with you. So we're always going to start in mycvdesk.com. So we're going to go over how to market yourself as the area expert. We're going to dive into Prospect Square. We're going to pull some of these Prospect Square reports out. We're going to include them on our Agent in Touch website. I do have a class coming up later this afternoon to customize your website. So this will give you a head start. And also doing some market updates. So a lot of questions people have had with Prospect Square. How do we get this information onto Instagram? Or if I don't want to share a link to Facebook, how do I get maybe a social media tactic where I have an image with some of this information available? And of course, it's always geared to letting people know that we're the area expert. If you farm, it's a great way to get additional information about your farming area because you should always know what's going on in your farming area. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of dive in. We're going to dive into Prospect Square. When you click on Prospect Square, it's going to take you directly in. Mine's going to make me toggle just to show that I do want to go in as an agent. So we're going to dive in. And over on the left-hand side, you're going to see reports. So we're going to click on that particular drop down. And we're going to see we have area reports, market reports, quarterly reports, and report settings. So for the purpose of this class, we're going to go into the area report. And anybody coming into the class, if you could mute yourself, that way we don't get any feedback. So we're going to go ahead and click on the area report. Thank you. We're going to click on the area report and you're going to see a great thing right here, the preview and share button. So once we click on reports, area report, and preview and share, we're able to dive in and we can find anything that we're looking for. So I'm going to hit the find button. You'll see there's 25 pages. They're in alphabetical order. And I don't know about you, but I just don't have time to sit here and leaf through all of the pages. Time is money. So I'm going to hit the find button and I'm going to go through. It does say MA. I promise that's Mid-Atlantic, not Massachusetts. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm just going to look for the county that I'm looking for, if I'm looking for a specific zip code. And do be careful if you're looking for Frederick County. We do have one in Maryland and one in Virginia. So just make sure you get the one that you're really looking for. For this purpose, I'll go with Harford County. And we'll hit the search button. Now, because I chose the area report, what that's going to do is it's going to break it down for me by county, and it's also going to break it down for me by zip code. So Aberdeen, Abingdon, Baldwin, Bel Air, they all have their own zip codes. And you'll see Bel Air is kind of lumped together. So the 21014 and 21015 area codes are combined in this instance. You can also go through if you're only looking for single family homes, if you're only looking for condos, you'll see Baldwin, there's no condos in Baldwin, so that's not available. So you can go through. There is a little button here on the side that you can click on that's going to allow you to preview those reports. If you want to look at the report, just left click on that button and it will pop up and let you know the statistics and all of the really good information about what's going on in this particular area. So for the sake of this class, how do we take this report and get it onto our website? And there are a few different ways that we're able to do that. So I'm going to share my website with you. Just to kind of show you some examples of things that you're able to do. And then we'll kind of dive in and show you how to do them. So when you get to my website, on the very bottom, I have a little blurb here about area reports. You can get up-to-date real estate data. Oh, and my phone just rang to tell me that I'm browsing my own website. You got to love In Touch. So get up-to-date real estate data for specific market areas. So it's letting them know that all the information in these reports that they can find below on my website do come from our regional multiple listing service. So if they're interested in getting these in their inbox every month, they can reach out to me. If they need clarification, if they want to take additional steps toward property ownership, let me know. I'm happy to help. So right here, you're giving them really good data. You're setting yourself as the market expert. No one knows that you have a program that you go in and just pull these. Maybe you sit down for hours and put this data together for them. So here I do have several, just because I work in a lot of different offices. You could really pinpoint this down. You could have 3 reports, 2 reports, 1 report, 4 reports, however many that you want. And I've gone in, I do have little Canva photos here. I'll show you how to kind of cheat that a little bit, but you can go in and I have a link here. When you share the link from your prospect square, they do have links in the system. When we copy those and put those on your website, they are live links. And what that means is you're going to set it, you're going to let it do its job. It's just going to hang out on the 5th of June, which is Saturday. This link, when someone clicks on it, right now it's going to give me April. On Saturday, it's going to automatically update for me to May. I don't have to do anything. And then in July, on July 5th, it'll automatically update to June. So it's going to always update for me. I don't have to go in and really think about it. Now, I do go in periodically and click all the links on my website just to ensure that they work. Haven't had any issues with that so far. Excuse me, but it's always good to make sure that everything is in working order. The other thing that you're able to do with these particular reports is put them on your communities page. So you're also able to add them at the top of your communities page, where you can add different community information. And then down through communities served, you're also able to add all of the communities that you serve. And you can really put as much or as little information on these pages as you would like. I always suggest having a stock image or an image that you have taken yourself. Definitely don't want to go to Google and get a copyright infringement. But any photo, you can get photos from BrandServe, put a photo on there. I have some additional information about Joppatown, but if nothing else, you can include your area report. So you'll see here I have it 2 different ways. Again, just that click the updated area report. It's hyperlinked. Someone can click through. They can get to that report very easily. And I also have what is called an iframe. The iframe just allows me to put the report on my website. Someone can scroll through, and this will also update every month. So on the 5th, on Saturday, when you come back into my website, you will see the May area report for Joppa. So that's a way to just get some more detailed area information. If you don't want to just give county information, you can really pinpoint that specific zip code if you wish. So you might be saying, okay, well, now I've gotten the prospect square and I have found my report. How do I get it on my website? So we're going to go to desk and we're going to log into InTouch. And actually what I'm going to do is I am going to find an agent account so I can see Carol's in here. So Carol, we're going to pick on you. And we're going to go into yours only because mine has a glitch that they're currently updating. So I want to make sure that this does work for you guys. You're always going to get this little pop-up. So we're just going to get rid of our little pop-up there. Once we're in InTouch, in order to put these on our website, we're just going to go to the World Wide Web here at the top, the website tab on your blue marker at the top, and we're going to hit edit site. That's going to take us into pages and menus. So we're going to be able to see all of the headers on our website. And then that's really just where you want to determine where you want to put it. Does someone have a question? Okay, we'll keep going. So let's say that Carol said, I really want to have these on my main page. I would like to have something on my main page that shows that people can get these reports. We can click on the page um, tab here for the home, for that home page, and we're going to hit edit page. Once we edit the page, what InTouch does is it breaks everything down into what are called widgets. The best way that I can explain that is that on this particular page, you have various different paragraphs of different information. Your masthead area or your main photo is always going to be at the top. And then here you'll see we have what's called a widget for custom content. So here Carol Bowen has some information. She can go in, she can edit at any time. If she has any featured listings, her recent sales, her business card for her website, communities served when she starts adding those in. We have some testimonials here. So this is where we can determine how we want our information to be presented. We can add a custom widget. So if we hit add widget, we're going to be able to select. So we don't want the agent card. We don't want community serve. We would probably want custom content. And then we can really shape this information any way that we want to on our website. An additional way to do this that I find to be just a little more simple, it helps you to have everything really stacked the way you want it, is to include the section at the top. And what that will actually do is give you columns on your particular widget. So that paragraph section will be sectioned out, and it will do so without you having to sit there and space things accordingly, so that everything is kind of square. So you'll see, as an example, again, on my homepage, I had an agent that said, wow, like you must be really OCD. Everything is perfectly spaced. Yeah, I didn't do that. It would take me way too long. I just used the section. So you'll see on mine, I used the 4 section. So let's say that Carol, on her page, she wanted to include area reports for Harford County, Cecil County, and Baltimore County. So we're going to go with 3. You can always update that, add or delete later on. We would just choose the 3 section here and hit save. What that's going to do, you'll see at the very, very bottom, it's going to add 3 separate widgets. So what that's going to do is give us the opportunity to determine what marketing goes in each piece. But you'll see that they're perfectly spaced out. So I don't have to worry about going in and kind of measuring things or hitting that space bar, the tab bar, too many times. So I'm going to go ahead and add the widget here. So what we're going to do is actually I'm going to go back into Prospect Square just as a reminder. I'm actually going to log in as Carol, just so that when we're actually showing you how to do this, when it all comes out, it's going to look exactly the way it would as Carol would do it. So we're going to go in as an agent. I'm going to find Carol's information in here. And because I'm an admin, I'm able to access hers. So again, just to show you guys as a reminder how to access those Prospect Square reports, we're going to go into report, we're going to go into area report, and preview and share. And that's where we're able to go in and find the information. So let's say I want to put Baltimore County first, just because it's first in the alphabetical order. I can go in and toggle hit the little radio button to check off Baltimore County. I'm going to search for Baltimore County, and it's going to be the first thing that comes up. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to highlight this particular link. I will always warn you guys every time I do this to make sure that you do get this link in its entirety. I have had agents that have missed part of the link and then it's broken and it doesn't work. So what I like to do to check myself is to go in and copy it. I'll just add another tab. I'll paste it in, and I'll make sure that it works. So here we can see we have Carol's information. for her report. Carol and I will go back in and add her cell phone number in there, or I'm sorry, her office number in there later, and some additional profile information, but that will update on anything that's currently out on your website. So we're going to go back in, we're going to add that widget. And when we add the widget, we're going to choose custom content. So choosing that, we do have the option to have a headline if we would like. We don't need to have a headline. And then this is where we're able to put this information. So I do like to use photos. It's not necessary. You can always just use a hyperlink if you'd wish. If you would like to use a photo, you do want to select the photo option, which is third from the right. We want to choose an image. We can choose images directly from the catalog here. They do have different banners. So if you're looking through and you want to find something that looks like the particular area that you are showcasing, you can do that. You may have an image on your computer. If you found a free stock image, BrandServe has some great photography included. Canva, unsplash.com are other great options as well. We're just going to select the file. We're just going to go in. I have some stock images already on my computer. Let's see if we can find one that looks like Baltimore. So that looks like the city. Let's see if we have any others that look like Baltimore. So we do. So I have some that are already saved that I went into Canva. I added some, some verbiage to the bottom. We don't even have to be that fancy. We can just use a photo. So we'll go ahead and use one of these. And if you ever need help with that, I can always help you with that. If you would like to add a little verbiage down to the bottom, we can do that. So we'll just select the image that we want to use and we'll hit upload. Once that pops up, it's going to give you the opportunity to put in a meta description. This is basically just describing your photo to help Google, and accessibility requirements, ADA, things like that. So these are Baltimore County area real estate reports. So I'm just going to put that in there. It's good enough. And then I'm going to hit save. You'll see the photo's going to come up and it's going to be extremely large. And I probably don't want it to be that big on my website, especially if somebody's looking from a mobile. So I'm just going to click on it. You'll see as soon as you click on it, you're going to have these little squares in the corners, and you can literally drag them down. As you do so, I would ask you to be very cognizant of the number that pops up. Something they've added to InTouch is the ability to use those numbers. So I just went with a 300 by 300. That just means when I go in later and I add other photos, they're all going to be exactly the same size and it's going to look very nice on the website. I can also align that to the center. And now what I need to do is make sure that it's hyperlinked. So even if you just have a photo with no verbiage, you could always type in and don't do what I just did. I just hit the back button. So I would just have to go in and choose, and kind of good thing I did that because now I can hit on websites. Anything that you've already uploaded into the system, InTouch is going to keep that for you. So if you ever need to use that image somewhere else, if it's a logo, if it's something that you've created and want to put in multiple places, you're able to easily access that. Mine always keeps any descriptions kind of saved for me. And again, I'm just going to go in and make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to do 300 by 300 just so that I can remember the number. Or it might be 300 by 299. That's okay too. So I'm going to hit the enter button. You can always go in and type Baltimore County area report if you don't have verbiage underneath of your photo. And then I'm going to say click here. So I'm going to make that just a little bit larger so people can read it. And then that's where I'm going to be able to take that live link and I'm hyperlinking. So hyperlinking, for those that aren't aware, that just means when someone clicks on that on my website, it's going to take them to the report. So it's kind of like GPS. I'm always going to type in where I want to go, and then I'm going to send you the directions. So I'm going to type in my verbiage first. I'm going to highlight the verbiage that I want to be linked. And you'll see the little chain link fence up here at the top. If you hover over it, it should pop up and say insert edit link. So I'm going to click on that link. And remember, we were in Prospect Square. We went ahead and copied that particular live link for Baltimore County. And then we're able to just paste that URL in where it states URL. One other thing that we want to do here is we want that target to open in a new window. Because I don't want someone to leave my website and then they don't know how to get back. It's just going to pop up in a new window. And when they're done and they X off, they're going to find themselves at my website once again. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now I have my photo, I have my link, I can hit next, and I can hit save. Just always remember, if you hit save here, you are never truly finished. You do have to preview and save again in order for this to go live. So here we have Baltimore County, and just really quickly, we'll run through that very quickly again. Let's say I want to put in Hartford County or Cecil County, since that's next in the alphabet. We can select a file. I'm going to go ahead and type in Cecil since I know I already have something in here. Again, it could be any photo that you have as long as it is a free stock image. We don't ever want to use anything that we get just randomly from Google. It could have a copyright infringement. Those are very expensive. So here again, I'm just going to minimize until I get to that 300 number, and it's okay if one is 300 by 299 and the other is 300 by 300. I don't know that anybody will really notice that little difference. I'm going to go ahead and say click here. I'm going to put that in the same font, the same size, and then this URL, I need to go back to Prospect Square. I want to go ahead and find, now I'm going to uncheck Baltimore County. I'm going to check Cecil County, and I'm going to hit the search button. So now I have my Cecil County report and my Cecil County live link. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those. I'm going to go back and paste that into the URL, hit the new window and hit OK and hit next. I'm going to go ahead and save that if it looks the way that I want it to. And then again, I'm going to do the same for Hartford County. I'm going to go in, I'm going to find my photo. I'm going to choose the photo from my computer. So I'm just going to go ahead because I already have some of these in here. And again, your field marketing specialist can help you with this. If you want verbiage on the bottom, you can always type it into the system. Or if you're a Canva user, you can always create your own in Canva and bring them over. I love that InTouch is so easy to customize. If you can dream it, you can do it. So here we're going to also make sure that this photo is at the 300 mark. Sometimes it gets a little touchy. Just be patient with yourself. I make it look easy, so I've been told, but it's because I've done it so many times that I've gotten a little, when I first started, I wanted to throw it out the window, to be honest. So again, I'm going to go back to Prospect Square. I'm going to find again, and this time I'm going to look for Hartford County. And again, your counties could be completely different. Anywhere that you are an area expert, that you feel comfortable buying and selling real estate, you can do that. And again, I'm just going to type in what I want to say. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to link those particular words, open in a new window and hit OK, hit next, hit save. But I'm not done. Now that I have this here, if I don't hit the preview and save button and save again, all will be for naught. It will not be live on my site, and everything that I just did would have been a huge waste of my time. So I'm going to go ahead and preview and save this. You know that you're in the right section when you preview for mobile, tablet, and desktop. so we can scroll down to the bottom and actually see what these are going to look like. So on a tablet or on the mobile, it will space them out accordingly. And then on the desktop, it will push them out horizontally instead of vertically. So we're going to go ahead and save. Once we have saved, congratulations, your changes have been saved. Now, how do I find my website to look at this live? Since I'm still in my InTouch, I'm going to click on website. I'm going to click on view site. That's going to take us right to Carol's page, and she can scroll down and she'll be able to see here are her reports. They're all live. She can click through. She can get to this information. An added bonus of having these on your website is if I want to share this information to social media as a link to a Prospect Square report, I don't have to log into Desk, into Prospect Square, into Reports, into Preview and Share, into find my report, copy the link, and then share it. I can just go to my own website, scroll to the bottom, click on the report, and hit the Facebook button. Very time efficient, very easy way to share this information on your business page on Facebook. So you always have content. A lot of times agents will say, you know, I have this information and I want to share it on Instagram, but I can't share a link on Instagram. It's not easily accessible. And when someone goes in and they click on this information, I want to be able to share, you know, how many listings, how many sold properties, you know, what's the average days on the market right now, or what is the average list price in an area or sold price. I want to be able to include those things and push those out on Instagram as well. Or maybe when I push those out on Facebook, I don't want someone to have to click a link. Maybe my audience on Facebook really responds to images. And every audience is different, but it's also a great way to present this information just in a different medium, a different way to actually push that out. So you'll see if you go to some of our office pages, you'll see that we do post our market updates every month. We can actually go into the photos, and we can go into, let's see, we'll go through the photos. See if that pops up. Oh, here they are. So here we have some market updates. These are back from January. I think we did some slideshows with some others, you know, and we post the different counties. And this is what it's going to look like from BrandServe. So how do we get the information, that really good information from Prospect Square, and make it look really nice like this? So what we're going to do, we're going to jump into Desk, and you can click on the BrandServe tile. Now, if you've never used BrandServe before, it will ask you to log in to request access. That usually doesn't take too long to get. And then once you're in BrandServe, you're going to see the lady with the smoke. I say the girl with the smoke is in there. Any of the latest tactics are at the bottom. But for this purpose, we're going to be extremely efficient with our time. We're going to go to the search tab and we're going to type in market update. So here you'll see we have 3 different choices. So I just want to view all of my results. I want to see what options do I have. I have a white tactic. I have a Coldwell Banker blue tactic. And oh, look, I also have one now with a photo option, because we know people like pretty pictures. So I will show you the one with the photo only because it's going to have the exact same functionality as each of these tactics, just the added element of adding the photo. So we're going to go ahead and select that option. It's going to give me all of the information here of what is going to be available for me to input into the system. So I'm just going to go ahead and customize this. Once we get into the template itself, I am a very big fan of giving everything a customized name. The reason being is I can go back through previous orders, my download history, and very easily be able to find something that I'm looking for. Excuse me. It also helps me as I'm saving things to my computer to be able to also easily access them as well. So here I might say April market update. Let's say we're going to do Hartford County. Here we're going to do the region name. We can start plugging that in. That could be Hartford County. Maybe I want to put Maryland in there. Now you can also do a lot of these for specific areas. Maybe I'm doing one for Westminster. Maybe I'm doing one for Towson or Elkton, or any of the areas that you guys serve, maybe Jefferson, any of those areas. You really can pinpoint, again, if it has a county or if it has a zip code, you're able to access that information in Prospect Square. The date, we're just going to go ahead and go with April. So really great thing would be to go in this weekend or on Monday. Once everything is updated for May, you'll be able to get that May information to push out. Property types, I just type in all residential types because this could be literally any house that's on the market. And then I'm able to select my stats. So we're going to skip the image just for now and go down to the stats. So I see that I have some different options available. I only have to choose 3. So I do have a minimum of 3, but I can include up to 5. So I'm just going to go based on what this photo is here. I'm going to do the median sales price. I'm going to do the average sales price, how many properties are for sale. So those listings, those sold properties, and then that average days on the market. So then the only thing that I need to do then is go back and find that particular. So here I've chosen Hartford County. Again, a great way to utilize my InTouch website. I can just scroll straight down. I can go into Prospect Square. I can look this information up, or I can just go ahead and click on my report on my own website. And here you'll find, once you pull the report up, all of that full market summary information is available to you. So I am a very big believer in copy and paste. So we're going to bring our brand serve over. So I want the median sales price. I'm going to look for the median sales price here, those sold properties. I'm just going to copy that number and I'm going to plug it in right here. The average sales price. So the average sales price here, a little bit higher. So we're going to put that in as well. Properties for sale and properties sold. So 503 and 354. So I have 503 and 354. And then the average days on the market is 11. So I'm going to put that in as 11. Then what you'll find here is the DBA logo. So we know DBA logo, we have to have Coldwell Banker Realty. We know that the Real Estate Commission states that in our marketing, we have to have our broker name as it's written on our license, on our pocket card. The best way to do that and the most time efficient way is to just type in CBR. You're going to see Coldwell Banker Realty is just going to pop up right for you. You can just click on that drop down. Now I'm getting to my sourcing data and the disclaimer. And again, I'm a very big fan of being very efficient with your time. I'm going to just go back to my Prospect Square report. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very, very bottom, and there's this very lengthy disclaimer. Well, now I'm kind of stuck because I only have 400 characters that are allowed. And the disclaimer really is asking where the information comes from. I'm literally going to copy the first 2 sentences. So it's letting them know that this information is from different sources. They could be county records, the multiple listing service. It is approximations. So although the information is believed to be accurate, it's not warranted. They should, go and look for themselves their personal verification. That's just going to prevent those people from coming back and saying, how did you get this information? Why, anything like that. I've never really seen that. But it's just to let them know that's where we got the information. So I'm just going to paste that in. It's going to go ahead. It's going to fit, although it tells me I do have 400 characters left. And that's just going to show up at the very, very bottom of your tactic. If you were using the white or the Coldwell Banker blue tactics, you would be finished at this time. You could generate your proof and you could move on. But we've chosen the one with the photo attached to it. So that's where we're able to go in and add an image. So here you'll see any images that you've already saved into the system. I could choose that image, or I could choose a file from the computer. Again, just make sure that you own the image that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and use Jarrettsville just because it's in Harford County, and known for their sunflowers, and it'll probably be a really nice photo there. The other thing you always want to be aware of too is it is going to post it just in a little excerpt here. So we will definitely look at our proof to make sure that it looks nice. Now you're going to see where the system is going to require you to agree that you have the rights to use the content uploaded. Definitely want to read through your image terms and agreements. You only have to read through that once you know what's there. Then we can go ahead and click confidently that we're not breaking any rules or copyright infringements. We're going to generate our proof. So proof is being generated. It'll take a few minutes to complete. Really, it's just going to pop right up. And here you'll see what I was saying about customizing your name. So I was in here on the 20th of May. I put in a social media tactic for a holiday, and I have absolutely no clue what tactic that would be. I can view the proof, but if I had named it, I would automatically know what it's called. So here I have my April market update for Harford County, and I want to go ahead and view the proof. So I can see it looks blurry here because it is the proof. It's very low resolution because they don't want you to save this and share it on social media. That's why it's in magenta. So you'll see all the market update. All of the statistics are here, all that really, really great data. So another thing that you're able to do with this that's very nice, if you have a community that is friendly to this sort of thing, and you're very active in your community on Facebook, as you should be, you can go ahead and sometimes share these out to the community and just let them know that you are the resource for any real estate questions that they may have. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove this particular tactic because I don't need it. I'm going to go ahead and select this particular tactic, and I'm going to add it to my cart. I always get questions, does it cost any money? It does not. So I really like to shop and brand serve because my wallet is always very happy. So here I can see currently in my cart, the tactic that I have, the market update. And because I gave it a name, I know what it is. And this is very helpful if you're doing several of these at a time. The phone rings, you have to go answer the door, or, take a nap, walk the dog, those type of things. Client calls you and you can't get off the phone, and then you come back and don't remember where you left off. The customized name is going to give you a lot of help there. Then I'm going to go ahead and place my order. Once I place the order, it's going to check for my asset file, and then I have some options here. I can distribute the file. I can get the file now. I can save it to my computer. I can go into Facebook. I could post it like I would a normal photo on my business page, or schedule it to come out via the publishing tools on my business page. But wait, there's more. If I don't want to do that, I can just publish to social media right now. So if I click publish to social, the first time you click, it will require you to log into Facebook and select your business page. Once you've done that, you're going to see the screen as we do here. Publish your file to social. I'm going to go ahead and click on Facebook, and yes, you do need to know your password to Facebook. So sometimes I know that's That's a hard thing. I do hear frequently, I don't remember my password. So you do need to know that in order to continue. Um, and I can tell you, although you will see it is going to show my personal profile, it will post to my business page. I promise, because I've already set that up. So I'm just going to continue as myself. I can add a message. So discover what's new in the Harford County real estate market. Um, contact me, with any questions, or one of my favorite things to say, to have this data um, emailed automatically to your inbox each month. Now somebody has the ability to get this information and never miss out on it. But guess what? They have to give me their email, which means I'm allowed to market to them, nurture them, turn them from a lead into a client, into a paycheck. Then I can also schedule this to come out at a future time. Maybe I just posted something on Facebook. You can go in and manipulate the time. If you're like me, I don't usually like to put things in what they call the time picker at a 11:30, 1 o'clock. I like to do an off time, because on my Facebook page it looks a lot more organic. Or I can just go ahead and post right now if I want to. So I'm just going to let it post. I'm going to go ahead and hit the preview button, and I'm going to see again, pay no mind to the man behind the curtain up here. It will post on my business page because I've already told it to. This is just through Facebook acknowledging that this is my account. And so discover what's new in the Harford County real estate market. Contact me with any questions. Have this data, emailed automatically to your inbox each month. And it's got the information, and then I'm going to hit publish. Once I hit publish, it's going to say posting to Facebook. Check in a few minutes. And you guys know I am the preview queen. I need to see what this is going to look like. I want to make sure that it looks good. I want to make sure that it looks right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to log right in to my Facebook business page. And here it is already. Looks beautiful. It's got a great photo. Everything is clear. Nothing is blurry. Nothing is in magenta. So discover what's new. Someone can click on it. They can see it a little bit larger on their screen. So you'll see it does give that disclaimer. It's a little hard to read, but it is there. It gives, my brokerage information and just that really good data. From here, I cheat the system a little bit. I tend to, as soon as I post, go into my phone, I open the Facebook post, I save the photo to my phone, I hit the copy, and I copy all of the copy, and I just automatically go into my Instagram business page and I post it from there. It's really the easiest way that I found for myself to get this into Instagram. You're also able to email the photo to yourself, bring it up in your email, save it to your phone. Same with the copy. Go to your Instagram business page, and you can post directly from your phone, because we know Instagram, we can go in on a desktop in the browser, we can like things, we can comment, we can engage, but we just can't post from the computer, which, for some is a little frustrating, but that's just a really good way to kind of cheat the system. Once it's in Facebook, I'm going to find it, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to post it to my Instagram business. That way the two of those pages are mirroring each other. So one other thing that you are able to do with this is, once you have several of these saved. So if I go into brand serve, I do have market updates here. So you'll see all of my April updates are here. And let's say I wanted to push something out on social ad engine. I could do that as well. So I could take this really good prospect square information. I could click on social ad engine. I could create those really nice tactics. I would probably use photos for each of them. And you're able to go in and create a template. So here I have a template. Maybe I want to reach as many people as possible, or I want to drive traffic to my website. Um, I can hit the promote button. I can go in and literally change the headline, the body text, the link description. I could go in and make sure that um, my website is in here. So maybe I just want the main page because they can scroll to the bottom and get all of this information. But you'll see here in Social Ad Engine, I'm able to change the photos. So if I'm changing the photos, I can go in. You'll see I already have a tactic in here that I've used before, or I can upload new tactics. So here I have one for Carroll County. I can go in and add and change the photos. And because these are brand serve tactics, they're all going to be the same size. So they're all gonna look great together. So I can go in again wherever you have saved them. I save them in my market update. I can add additional photos as well to that and select that media. And here you'll see, it'll come out like this, or maybe I have the same, information, but I have it different ways. Maybe I have different counties, and I can say, discover what's new in the real estate market, contact me today to have these sent automatically to your inbox. um, you know, Market update. You could really anything, real estate market update, anything you want for your headline, link description. Again, be careful with that. Sometimes it doesn't show on a mobile, but you can put stuff in there as well. Save your content, and you can push out a social ad engine ad as well, showing yourself as the market the market expert. Um, Letting them know I'm the market expert in Harford County. It will come out through your business page, and you're able to set that ad up as well. And honestly, you can do this with any brand serve tactics. So if you really want to push out a social ad engine ad and you don't know what to put in there, you can always go into brand serve and find some great tactics as well. So we went over how to add to your business page. If you are interested in using the iframe that I had on the Joppa, so again, for communities and communities served, it would work the same way that it does on your main page. You can just go in and hyperlink the words and put in that live link. The iframes, I would highly recommend. It's a little more complicated. Sit down with your field marketing specialist. We can help you add an iframe. It's a little code that you're going to go into the background and add, and you can add that link in, and it will pull it up on your website. And you can kind of tweak that with your marketing specialist and get those on there as well. But again, you guys have a lot of different options. I really enjoy having these on my website. It gives me the ability to tell people, you can go to the website. If you want a blurb above that, you can add some custom content, or you can just have them on your website. Maybe you have a little more additional information with the photos, but I can go here at any time. I can click through. I can get the most recent. I can share it on Facebook. I can share it on any social media other than Instagram. I can print this to a PDF and run out the door to an open house. So lots of different things that you can do with the reports. Getting them on your website is just another great way to have some custom content, show that you are the area expert, make them very easily accessible and shareable. And then you can get in and share them on Instagram and all the different places. So with that, does anybody have any questions? No questions? You guys are quiet. And Carol, I hope you don't mind that I put those on your page.
No, that's okay. I just have to, as you know, I just have to do more work on all this. But I usually pick up something when I listen to your little chats. And so, anyway, thank you.
Sure. And guys, just remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. If you get in and start doing it and you get stuck, we can always do a one-on-one appointment. We can sit down together, get these reports on your website. Again, you're able to add to every community served. You could add an area report for that particular zip code. Just a great way to share that you are the area expert and keep abreast of your farming area so that you always know what's going on. And again, easily accessible to go in and print out, take to those open houses, go door knocking, so many things that you can do with them. Or even just sitting down and reading them all the time so that you just have that information down pat. So with that, we're almost at time. So I'll give you 5 minutes of your day back. So have some fun with them. Again, if you need any help, I am here to help you one-on-one to get these on your website, get them on social media. Anything that you need, just reach out. Have a great day and stay safe.
Thanks, Angie.
Thanks.